Welcome and Dorada to today's Sabassembler. I believe this is our first video of the year, and I just want to hope everyone came happily, safely, healthily into the new year, and I just hope everyone will have a safe, happy, healthy, successful 2022. And so if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to hit the like button. Definitely don't forget to subscribe. And just thanks again to all my supporters and other fellow collectors and Sabassemblers. Okay, and I just want to say as I promised, I'll make a separate review video of this phenomenal XM Studios Soundwave statue. And all I can say is, all of those of you who have already seen the unboxing, I was really excited about this statue when I got it. I got it in one day earlier, and I made the live unboxing of this piece, and all I can say is I'm really thrilled about the statue, and all I can say is, as I said before, this is another phenomenal piece by XM Studios from their Transformers line, and I think they did a great job. I've heard a few people saying that this statue may be a little bit underscaled. It seems small, but my theory is, when you compare it to all the other Transformer pieces of XM Studios like Grimlock, Optimus Prime, and Megatron or Starscream, yes, he's smaller, but the thing is, I mean, they're all made to 10 scale, and Soundwave is a smaller character than all those other ones before. So I believe we have already this theory of all these huge, gigantic statues, so maybe some people may seem disappointed by the size of this statue, but I'm definitely not. I mean, this blue color, and it's a unique color compared to all the other ones. This one will definitely pop compared to the other statues. So I'll just come back again. This statue was, I mean, Soundwave was already unboxed, as I did in my previous video, and with him you get this proximity piece that comes with this as a cassette player or ghetto blaster or whatever, and you can see the cassette inside the glass. I'll give you close-ups of that. And here you have, I mean, as usual, that separate base for the cassette player. And we were lucky enough to get that plaque by XM Studios. Thanks again. And oh yeah, just one more thing. Thanks again to Todd from Specfiction, who I got this statue from. And if you don't know Specfiction, I'll leave a link for that later on. But I assume most of you already know that. So okay, so let's start with the concept. I believe XM nailed it again. I mean, immediately you can tell this is the classical G1 Soundwave with a modern look, as XM Studios always does with their Transformers. That's why I chose the XM Studios Transformers line, and I prefer those than those from Imaginarium Arts, where they look more just like out of the cartoons. Here you have more details, and they're a little bit modernized, but you still get that G1 first generation look, and not the kind of totally modern like Michael Bay movie Transformers. So start with the base. I mean, as I said, the concept, you can tell immediately. You have Soundwave, you have Rumble right in the front, and Ravage here on the right side, and then you have Laserbeak outside, and you do get kind of the fourth one. You get like a Red Bat coming out of his chest plate with the cassette, and I'll come back with that later with the switch outs. So the base has more like I don't know, all the statues before, they had more this Cybertronic look base, but here it's, I'd say, like maybe a mixture of half Cybertron, half Earth. You have this rock all around, and you have some of this kind of metallic, kind of mechanical base, and on the other side here on the left, it looks like we had a caterpillar, like those caterpillar drives, or kind of like a half a tank, like you have these wheels on the side, and I don't know, like it's half, I don't know, that's my opinion, but I think it looks phenomenal. I think XM did a great job, and I'm really really still excited. And then looking at Soundwave, I mean, you can immediately tell it's Soundwave, and all the details, like you have all the details around his legs, his chest plate, his arms, and that on the left side you have his cannon or rifle, and on the right side you have the Megatron gun he's holding on his right hand. Beautiful look. And the face and the portrait, wow, like, I mean, it only comes with one portrait, but this one portrait is like phenomenal. It looks great. Just the Soundwave as we all know him. And coming back down again, like you have all these individual pieces, like all his helpers. You have Rumble right in the front. I mean, when you look at Rumble, like he has his two arms like just shaking the ground, and the way it looks, I mean, you have this real humanoid kind of face, and he has the cannons on his shoulders behind, and look, he's done really well. All the details with the Decepticon logo on his chest, and all the single details, like you have this every single tiny screw, like that was sculpted in and painted, and all over the whole piece you have all these different like battle damages and the scratches that were painted in or sculpted in. Beautiful looks, and they just go all around the whole base, even on the insides when you look at them later. Even like here, if you look on the inside of the chest plate here, like on front, you could see all these different shadings and scratches painted in, sculpted in, and I mean, even places where you're never gonna see it probably, but XM still put in this detail. That's why I love XM. I mean, they put in so much effort for all these details, and that's why I'm willing to pay this extra money for XM pieces. Even, as I said, they're more expensive maybe than companies like Sideshow, but that's why I prefer to go with XM. So, and then we have Ravage here on the right side, just like jumping. You have this panther or leopard, like just jumping out at his enemy or jumping at us, and beautiful look. You have this dark look, and you have these red eyes in his face, and they just look so evil and vicious. Beautiful look. And on the top here you have Laserbeak, his helper from the sky, and also has that red eyes, and he has this black, gray, and red body, and with those red wings just spread out, and also looks great. And this statue is kind of, I believe, more of a diorama really. You have Soundwave and all those 3.5 helpers, so I would say, I mean, it's not just one statue, it's more of a diorama, because you have all these things going around, all around Soundwave, and that's why I believe you could even call the statue diorama. And that's why I love like XM Studios. Like they could have sold all these individual characters like Rumble, Ravage, and Laserbeak separately, but they decided to give you all that in a package in one statue, and that's why I said before, like, I'm willing to pay that extra money for XM Studios, and that they thought about that and give you this whole experience of from this Transformers, and I'm really happy about that. I'm really excited, and finally like Soundwave is here, and I'm willing to put him to my Transformers collection, and I'm sure it's going to look awesome. And let's start with continue with the kind of you said here you have that cassette player, and you have the Decepticon logo, and just looks great. I mean, when you see it like next to him, and it's pretty small. I think it's the smallest proximity piece we ever got before, but it looks phenomenal. There's so much details on here. You have all those screws. I mean, it doesn't even look like a cassette player anymore. It looks like a futuristic cassette player maybe. Considering, I mean, this TV shows from the 80s. That time they still had that Walkman with the cassettes, and nowadays you only play music like from your smartphone or MP3 players. Even MP3 players are out nowadays. You only play music from your phone nowadays. So let's talk about the size of the statue. This is actually, it's not a huge statue, but let's talk about the height of the statue. And from the bottom to the top, it's 74, almost exactly 74 centimeters, and the width, I believe the widest point would be the tip of his gun to the outermost point of his rifle, and that would be about 64 or 65 centimeters. And I mean, it's hard to say what the front or what the width is depending on, or the depth or the back or front, because depending on how you're going to display him. And I would say, let's say this would be the depth or so, and my opinion here would be maybe 50 centimeters in depth, and something like around 50 centimeters to be on the safe side, and just looks phenomenal. I'm really excited. So let's come back to the switch outs. The statue does come with several switch outs. So let's start with the left arm. You do get this switch out for the opening of the chest plate. I believe first you just have to switch the chest plate. I mean, you have to take out that eject button first and just switch this out. And you have that chest plate with a red bat, and you can just put that button on top again. Not that button, yeah, the eject button. You can put them back, and the left arm with where it looks like he's pressing the button to eject red bat right here. And this would be another option to display him. And here you can see, I mean, the look of red bat just like about to jump out with the cassette. And maybe some generations nowadays, or younger people, don't even know what a cassette is. I mean, just an old way to play music or audio, but still, it's still a nice experience. And you have the face of red bat, you have that vicious, angry bat just looking out with those golden eyes. Beautiful look. And you can see the inside of his body, and you still have the look of the cassette player, the two wheels turning, and you have those ears just like a bat, and all those details of the battle damage and shadings, different shadings of red. Beautiful look. And just around the chest you have all these shadings of gold, just kind of framing his chest plate of the cassette player, and beautiful look. So I believe another switch out option would be for his right arm. That would be, instead of holding the Megatron gun in his hand, you could have this hand where he's just pointing to his helpers, like which direction to go. I mean, this looks good too, but I personally prefer like him holding the rifle and the gun in both hands. I'm just not unsure yet whether I would display it with the open or closed chest plate. Both look great. I mean, you can't go wrong either way. It's just a personal preference thing whether you also want to show red bat or not. Maybe they could have shown him separately. I don't know. It's but up to now, there's nothing I could really complain about this statue. The only issue maybe with this statue for me was like this chest plate like had some issues when I wanted to fit it in, but apart from that, everything went in perfectly. Everything fit in, no issues, or everything holds. The magnets and all those pins, there are hardly any like magnets on this piece. Most of the connections are made with the pegs, and these pegs generally fit in, and they're not loose. they don't seem like they're going to be falling out. Well done with that, XM Studios. So there is a light up function for the eyes, but I don't have the batteries right now, but the red eyes of Soundwave do light up with LR44 batteries as usual. And next would be, I believe, yeah, there was one thing what surprised me when assembling the statue was the right leg. Usually they have, one leg has a peg and the other one has just a key, but the right leg, I mean the key is on the left leg here, and on the right leg there is nothing to hold it in place. It's just simply the weight and the position keeps the right leg in place. That kind of surprised me. It's just like flat and it just like stands on top. That was something I was surprised about. I was expecting there to be a key, and that's why at first I was afraid it might just like fly away, but it actually stays in place, and that I was really shocked first. But so you should actually, when you're assembling this, you should actually just connect the leg and the main body first and then connect it to the base. So apart from that, as said before, we have the plaque from XM Studios. Looks great. Here you have him with the open version, like here. I think he's displayed the same way I have him here on the plaque. Beautiful look. So I'm very happy, and now I'll give you some more close-ups on different switch outs. I believe theoretically you have I believe 8 possible switch outs for this statue, since you have 2 switch outs for the right arm and 2 for the chest plate and 2 for the left arm. So that makes 8 switch outs in theory. So it's just up to you which way you want to display it. So I hope you enjoyed this review, and again I hope you all are gonna have a nice new year. And I just hope, please, I know I've said this before in the assembly video, but please, or unboxing video, please, XM Studios, I just hope that your next Transformer will be a Devastator. Come on guys, I know you can make it. I believe in your engineering and your quality. You can make a Devastator. I just hope that Devastator will come out. Thanks again to all my supporters, and just all I can say is now, God bless you, God bless our statues, and have a nice day.
أما ليلي ليلي وردان تلا وزما ليلي نانو وزما ليلي نانو أما ليلي ليلي بونتون تلا وزما ليلي نانو وزما ليلي نانو أما ليلي ليلي وردان تلا وزما ليلي نانو وزما ليلي نانو شجع ترمبولي ويا دخيوان بولي يانا يانا شجع يانا يانا ويوجن بيا بونا عجبت بشانو ما وردان تهلا ويأدين وان جيراني ويأدين وان جيراني بشانو ما بونتون تهلا ويأدين وان جيراني ويأدين وان جيراني جالة تكو ما بونتون تهلا وقلبي ما هيراني وقلبي ما هيراني ترمبولي شكا ترمبولي yana yana way wajin biya buna ajaba Oiru tanya kutu wardantala Wina nauni intura Wina nauni intura Eiru tanya kutu bontuntala Wina nauni intura Wina nauni intura Afana somana wardantala Sidunga duni intura Sidunga duni intura Turumbule, shaka turumbule, waya da khewan bule, yana yana, shaka yana yana, way wajin biya buna. Wadaribuna bontuntala way algeluki fanna way algeluki fanna khod wadaribuna bontuntala way algeluki fanna way algeluki fanna nula chudaima bontuntala way walikuti fanna way walikuti fanna shaka turumbule waya da khewan bule yana yana shaka yana yana way wajin biya yene uneshi shaka yene uneshi way man mai nakashi turumbule shaka turumbule waya da khewan bule yana yana Shaka yana yana, we wajin